I gasped for air, bolting upright in my familiar bed. The calendar on the nightstand flashed a date I thought I would never see again, exactly 1 year before my murder. My heart hammered against my ribs as reality set in. This wasn't a nightmare. I had been given a second chance at life, and I refused to waste a single second. Footsteps echoed down the hallway. Marcus, the man who smiled in my face, won my heart and eventually ended my life for an insurance payout. He walked right in. "Good morning, beautiful," Marcus said, stepping close to kiss my cheek. His familiar cologne made my stomach churn. I forced a smile, knowing the deadly monster wearing it. "You are quiet today, love," Marcus nodded, pouring his coffee. I swallowed the bile rising in my throat and lied smoothly, saying I was just tired from a strange dream. He kissed my forehead before leaving for work, reminding me of our dinner plans tonight. Dinner plans where, in my past life, he first dropped hints about marriage. As the front door clicked shut, the heavy weight of my first life crashed over me. I remembered bleeding out on the kitchen floor while he watched coldly. Then, I thought of him, Julian, the quiet man who worked at the corner bookstore, the man who had rushed to my dying side, whispering words of love too late. In my final moments, Julian had held my hand, tears streaming down his face as he confessed he loved me all along. I had ignored him for years. I never gave him a second glance, blinded by Marcus's toxic charisma. But now, armed with a second chance, I needed to find Julian before it was too late. I grabbed my keys and hurried out of the house. I had to break the cycle. I had to rewrite my destiny, starting with a trip downtown. My hands trembled on the steering wheel as I drove toward the old neighborhood. Every corner held a memory of a future I was desperately trying to erase. The bell above the door chimed softly as I stepped inside the quaint bookstore. The familiar scent of old paper and roasted coffee beans instantly surrounded me. And there he was, sorting through a box of vintage manuscripts, completely unaware of the history we shared or the life he had desperately tried to save. Tears pricked my eyes. Seeing him alive, whole and breathing was overwhelming. In my past life, he had lost everything for a woman who barely knew his name. I took a deep breath, forcing my legs to move. I walked down the narrow aisle between the tall shelves, my footsteps echoing quietly on the wooden floor. Julian looked up, startled as I approached his table. His eyes widened slightly in surprise, recognizing me from the few times I had carelessly wandered in before. "Hi, Julian," I managed to say, my voice trembling slightly. He blinked, clearly shocked that I even remembered his name after all this time of ignoring him. "You are Clara, right?" he asked, a faint disbelieving smile touching his lips. I nodded, stepping closer, needing to feel the reality of his presence. We talked for hours among the dusty books. Every word he spoke felt like a healing balm on a soul that had endured a terrifying, violent end. Then, my phone buzzed in my coat pocket. Marcus, reminding me of our dinner reservation. The reminder of my trap snapped me right back to harsh reality. I declined the call with a trembling thumb, turning the phone face down. Julian noticed my sudden shift in mood, his gentle eyes filling with quiet concern. "I have to go," I whispered regretfully, standing up from the wooden chair. "But promise me you will be here tomorrow?" He smiled, promising without hesitation. That evening, I sat across from Marcus in an upscale restaurant. He wore his best smile, completely unaware that his future prey had slipped from his grasp. In my first life, this was when he brought up moving in together. Tonight, I steered the conversation away before he could plant the seed of control. Marcus blinked, surprised by my sudden independence and refusal to yield. The control freak inside him hated when things did not go according to his plan. Dinner ended without a proposal, without the trap springing shut. I drove home with my chest feeling lighter for the first time in years. Over the next few weeks, I built a new routine. Every afternoon, I visited Julian at the bookstore, falling deeper in love with the man who had loved me in the shadows. He listened to my wildest stories, shared his quiet dreams, and made me feel safe. Safe in a world where I had once been hunted. Back at home, Marcus was growing desperate. His subtle manipulations were failing, and his cold glances began to reveal the violent predator hiding underneath. Using the knowledge from my first life, I investigated his finances. I found offshore accounts, fraudulent investments, and proof of his dangerous intentions. I copied every single file to a secure flash drive. This time, I wouldn't just run away. I would dismantle his entire world before he could destroy mine. I told Julian everything. Not about the time travel, but about Marcus's dangerous nature and financial crimes. He did not run away. He stood by me. "I will protect you, Clara," Julian promised softly, pressing a gentle kiss to my knuckles. I knew he meant it with every fiber of his being. The anniversary of the proposal date arrived. Marcus had planned a lavish dinner, intending to lock me into an engagement I was ready to shatter. I walked into the restaurant alone, wearing the dark emerald dress. Marcus smiled, thinking I was walking straight into his web once again. "You are late, love," Marcus chuckled, standing up to pull out my chair. I didn't sit down. Instead, I placed a thick manila envelope right on the white tablecloth. "What is this?" Marcus asked, his smile faltering as he read the bold header on the papers. "Embezzlement, fraud, and a trail of police reports." "Your little empire is built on sand, Marcus," I said coldly, my voice steady and clear. "The authorities already have copies of everything." He lunged forward, his mask slipping entirely to reveal the monster underneath. But before he could grab my arm, security guards stepped in between us. By the time the police arrived, Marcus's life was already over. His accounts were frozen, his reputation shattered, and his crimes fully exposed to the world. He lost his company, his freedom, and every single cent he had stolen. The man who tried to destroy my life ended up utterly destroyed himself. I stepped out of the restaurant into the cool night air. The nightmare was finally over. The past had been rewritten, and my future was entirely my own. I didn't walk home alone this time. As I reached the corner, a familiar figure stepped out from under the warm street lamp, waiting patiently for me. "Julian?" He stepped forward, his eyes shining with a love that spanned across lifetimes. He didn't have to confess his feelings while I was dying anymore. Instead, we had all the time in the world. He pulled me into a warm, safe embrace that instantly washed away every lingering trace of my past fear. I rested my head against his chest, listening to the steady rhythm of his heartbeat. I had traded a monster for a protector, a nightmare for a true home. The past life was just a distant memory, a heavy shadow that only made the blinding brightness of our new beginning shine all the more intensely. The next morning, I woke up in my bed again, but this time there was no dread, no fear of a killer waiting downstairs, only peace and sunlight. Julian was already in the kitchen, brewing coffee and smiling as I walked in. He handed me a warm ceramic mug without a word, knowing my exact preference. I chose wisely this time. I stopped chasing the toxic charm that destroys you and embraced the quiet love that saves you. Marcus is locked away where he belongs, powerless to ever hurt another soul. And Julian and I are finally writing our own story from scratch. Life gives us choices at every turn. Sometimes it takes losing everything to realize who was standing right beside you all along. Julian never has to confess his love too late again, because in this lifetime I saw him first, I chose him first, and I will love him forever. If you ever get a second chance at something that matters, do not hesitate. Grab it with both hands and never look back at the past. We defeated the monsters, rewrote the timeline, and built a sanctuary out of the ruins. Love is not about who arrives first, but who stays. Marcus is a forgotten ghost behind iron bars, while our future shines brighter than ever before. Every heartbeat is a victory won. From the ashes of a tragic end, we built a masterpiece of a beginning. My second chance gave me the only man who truly mattered. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey through time, survival, and true love. Make sure to subscribe for more thrilling stories. If you could go back 1 year in time to change your fate, what would you do differently? Let us know in the comments below. Remember to like, share, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another unforgettable story of fate and redemption. Until next time.